Gotta say, figuring this angle out is tough. All right, so how am I looking right here? How's that?
Well, a little lopsided at this point, but man, does that ever look good.
Well, hey, Matty, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Thanks for helping us out here. I'm definitely up in need of a bit of a trim here. Before we get going here, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Matty Conrad. I'm the owner and founder of Victory Barber Brand from Victoria, British Columbia, and I was the 2018 Canadian Barber of the Year.
Wow, man. How long have you had a beard for, man?
I think I'm going on 9 years now since I've seen my bare face. So I don't even know if I would recognize myself without it anymore, to be honest. Step number one is going to be washing your beard and making sure we have it thoroughly cleansed. I like to use a softening beard wash that's going to be moisturizing, and it's going to tend to the skin underneath the beard. Because the thing about beards is they wick moisture away from the skin, and the hair and the skin together can become quite dry.
What am I looking for if I am walking down the aisle, the grooming aisle? What's it going to say? Like, is it just going to say something like, this actually says beard 2-in-1 conditioning on it? But that's one of the only ones I can find. So
what you've essentially found is a moisturizing beard wash, and that's really what you want to find. You want to find something that is going to address the moisture content. I really recommend avoiding things like bar soaps or anything that has a really hard detergent in it, because that can be very, very drying. Here's the two things you're going to need to create a nice beard shape. Your cutting tools are going to be your clipper and your trimmer. Okay, and the difference between those two is that the clipper has nice wide teeth on it, okay? And what they're meant to do is cut a large volume of hair. And then the trimmer has very fine teeth on it, and what that's meant to do is create strong outlines.
So I've got my one here, and now this one's adjustable. Is that typical?
That's perfect. I think the biggest mistake people make when they're trying to keep their beard longer is they go to guards. They're tremendous tools to use for shorter beards, but as soon as you want to get something longer that has any kind of shape to it, you want to leave those and you want to start working more freehand and sculpting. But what we're going to use this for today is actually cutting the interior of the beard. We're going to use this for shaping. We're going to think of it kind of like a hedge. Before we get into that, what you really want to make sure you have with you as well is a pick or a wide tooth comb. The reason you don't want to use a fine tooth comb is because it puts a lot of tension on beards. Beards like yours and mine are a little tangly. They're very curly hair. And so we don't want to put too much pressure on it, because the more pressure we do, the more hair we're going to remove when we're trying to comb through it. But what you want to do is you want to comb it into the nicest shape that you can make. Can you kind of describe the beard that you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of like, one of the things I like about a beard is it really shapes my face. And usually what I go for is something that kind of like works in for my haircut down, so it doesn't look like there's a big difference between the two of them. And then can come in a little bit more here. And then I like to leave it just a little bit longer in the front so that, not for nothing, if it's pointing down a little bit and
so
I haven't got the gym that much, it does make me look a little bit narrower, which is kind of nice.
So the way we start in the interior is with our clipper. And I'm actually going to set the clipper all the way forward. I want it to be shortest cutting position, and I want to have the largest amount of cutting surface on the blade.
Is it always something that you're going to be going down, or are we going to go up?
I'm really glad you asked that, because going down is probably going to create the smoothest results. I found that when you work upwards with the clipper, what happens is it starts to grab chunks of hair and pulls out more of a bumpy, rough finish. When we're working straight downwards, you get a smoother finish. And I'm going to create a straight line from my corner of my sideburn, and I'm going to push straight down. Just like this.
Ooh, all right.
Now this is where the freehand starts to become really important, because I want to make sure that what I'm not doing is pushing really hard inwards. I'm just trying to go straight down and remove the bulk on the sides.
How close am I going to go?
I would say go towards about a ½ an inch away. There you go. And push straight down, nice straight line. There you go. Now, the great thing is that you can always add more. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to notice that just that one patch back there, you want to kind of move forward in panels really slowly. So you want to take that back panel once you figure out your length. That's the length you want to do. You want to then move forward, and you want to take another pass again and make kind of panels moving forward and make it like a nice flat wall, nice and clean. You'll notice that one hand gets a little more wobbly than the other, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like learning to write with your left hand. That takes a little bit of practice, so you really want to concentrate when you're working on your weaker hand. There you go, just comb through. You can see a couple of those guys pop out there. You see the stuff that's sticking out, and that's what we really want to try and address. We want to try and address all the little guys that were tangled inside the beard. We want to make that nice and smooth.
So this side needs to be brought in a little bit more to balance it out. But I'd actually like to bring this side in a bit more too. Is that possible? Can we go ahead?
Absolutely. Yeah, start with the side that you want to establish and then try and recreate it on the other side. Now, the area that you want to protect the most amount of hair, okay, now that's the area that you want to be really light with the clippers. You want to make sure we're not diving in there and removing too much, because this is where the length of the beard lives. So really all you're trying to do in this area is just clean up some of the flyaways. So what you want to do is you want to comb that down again. You're going to turn your clipper, again, inverted, and you're just very lightly going to go over the outside, making sure that you're not cutting it through a bunch of bulk. We're looking really good, but when you turn your beard to the side like that, I see a problem for the type of beard that you're trying to have. And that's what a lot of guys have a problem with, which is when they grow too much hair in the back area here and it stays very flat on the bottom. What happens when it's flat on the bottom is it ends up increasing the bulk right at the back of the neck there. So it almost makes you look like you have another chin that you don't have. And so the beard line on the bottom should descend slightly, just like the jawline does. If these are the walls, this is the shelf, which is the area underneath. And same idea, we're gonna use our clipper inverted and we're gonna punch a line nice and clean. And if we elevate our chin like this, and punch a line towards the Adam's apple, what's gonna happen when we tilt our head down is we're gonna have a nice descending line. Just much like I was working on the side, just creating nice flat panels of hair.
Here's the thing, is this because my clippers aren't that great? That was getting caught a little bit, or should I just keep going at it?
Is your lever set all the way forward?
It is.
All right, maybe just take it a little slower and just work your way through really, really calmly. There we go. It's kind of fun, isn't it?
It is kind of fun.
Yeah, I think once you start thinking about a beard as just a bunch of components, it makes it a lot easier to not get overwhelmed by trying to do the whole thing at once.
Should I keep going all the way to the back here?
Absolutely, keep going all the way back. I don't think this is the most difficult part, but I find this to be the most important part. This part seems to have the most transformative appearance to the beard. If you notice, all of the sudden, now that he has a slightly cleaner baseline, it really looks like a much stronger beard. Does it feel leaner? Does it feel a little lighter now?
It actually, I gotta say, one of the weird things is that I can't feel my beard on my neck as much as I did earlier, just beforehand.
All right.
Definitive proof of what's going on here now.
Yeah, I've got a good pile going myself here. One of the reasons why people would pick a square beard over a rounded beard is because it gives the face a leaner look. So guys that have a slightly fuller face shape, they're going to benefit from having something that's a little more linear and square, where guys that have a very narrow face shape are going to benefit from having something that is a little fuller and rounder.
I'm going to go ahead and keep this part, my sharper edges here, because I think I like that.
I think it looks
I've also
great.
been in lockdown for a little bit here in New York. I've been here for almost 3 months. I've not gone to the gym, so maybe I can use the square looks.
The outline is broken down into 3 components: the top line, the baseline, and the lip line. So we're going to start with the top line. And the shape that the top line takes is going to be determined by your face shape. So somebody that has a narrower face shape benefits from having something that is slightly softer or rounder, whereas somebody that has a fuller face shape benefits from a line that is much straighter and more angular. I'm going to take my trimmer, and when we're using a trimmer, we're not using it kind of like a pencil. What we're doing is we're using it more to like punch lines into things. So we want to make sure we put that trimmer right against the skin like this. All right, and that's what it does. It creates a straight line. Creating a straight line is easy because you can use the straight edge of the blade to just punch a nice clean line in. But creating a curved line is slightly more tricky. So what we're gonna do to create a curved line is I'm gonna stretch the skin upwards. I'm gonna pinch it up, and I'm gonna press the line in underneath so that when I let the skin go, it creates the curve of the line. So all I want you to do is take your trimmer, pick something from about the lower part of the earlobe, this corner of the sideburn, and I'm gonna get you to just punch a straight line towards about the middle point of your mustache or the corner of your mouth. Yours grows up pretty high. What you really wanna have is you wanna have it nice and clean, uninterrupted line. Nice job, pal, looking much better. Now that area there is something you can easily maintain with your own razor, or you can maintain just with your trimmer every couple of days or so. Let's see if we can get it even on the other side. This is the tricky part.
Switch to this left hand. I'm gonna live dangerously here. Gotta say, figuring this angle out is tough.
All right, take a second. How you feeling?
He's all right.
You're looking good. I think you look great. Now that's the top line. All right, we've got 2 more lines we got to take care of.
Okay.
The next one we're going to conquer is the baseline, and that's very similar to what we were doing with the shelf. But what we're going to do is we're going to outline and make sure that's nice and clean, and then remove all the hair on the neck underneath.
Got it. Okay.
So I'll start here from the center, and I like to work again from about the Adam's apple. Usually I carve something that goes up towards the corner, right? Towards the corner of the jaw. You're gonna notice that you get less irritation removing the hair on your neck if you turn your clipper and not rake it using this motion, but turn it to the flat, smooth portion and clean up to that line. You're gonna get less irritation on your neck.
So I should have been going this way with this.
There we go. Doesn't that feel better?
It does. And that feels much better. And I've always done it the other way. In fact, every time I've ever tried to trim my beard, or if I'm just cleaning up here and up here, it's always been this way. I mean, it has been a motion, but thanks for the tip.
My pleasure. That's what I'm here for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my trimmer here, and I'm going to set a nice clean line in front of the ear, and I'm going to just curve it slightly back, making sure I get rid of all of that extra hair. And then I'm going to clean that line up with my trimmer in the nice kind of natural cutting position. Hey, Kevin, I'll get you to stop for 1 sec. What I want you to do first is I want you to brush some of the hair back, because what you're getting is a whole bunch of puffy hair here. And if you brush it back and then trim that line, you're going to notice that the puffiness starts to go away. There we go. I've always found the most important part of a mustache is that it remains functional. And so I always like to make sure that that mustache doesn't crest over top of where the mouth splits open. All right, so it should peak slightly in the center. You don't want to have it necessarily flat straight across. You do want it to peak just a little bit over the middle. So I find the best way to do that, if you want to keep a longer mustache, is by combing all the hair straight down. And we're going to start in the center with our trimmer on its side. And we're going to start at the highest point, and we're just going to rotate the clipper outwards so that it kind of creates a soft arcing shape. And what I'm going to do last is I'm going to add just a couple of drops of beard oil. Now, the reason why we use a beard oil is to protect the skin and to soften the beard hair and make sure everything stays conditioned and moisturized. You don't need very much, like 3 drops of this, maybe 5 drops maximum. You want to use something like maybe jojoba, or you want to use something with argan oil or grape-seed oil. These are very, very fine oils, and they penetrate into the beard. So if the beard stays shiny for longer than 5 minutes, the beard oil is too heavy. I always like to finish off with a brush. And the reason I like to use a brush is because it gets all of the natural oils, and it gets all of the oils from the beard oil that I've added all the way through the beard, and allows me to just kind of sculpt everything nicely into shape and look a lot more polished. And once you've done that, it allows you to see if there's any further little flyaways that you might want to just have to tame.
How's that? See, I was thinking like,
yeah, just that back corner there is pretty much the only area I can see. It wasn't so hard once you started to kind of get the hang of it, eh?
I'll do it a few more times. I could
that's looking much better.
Start my own business right in here.
There you go.
I'm going to be servicing this myself, so it'll be nice and easy, no complaints.
The techniques that we use today are great for guys like you and me that have very coarse and somewhat curly beard hair. Freehand techniques work really, really good for those, but not everybody has the same type of beard hair. So always seek the advice of your barber, asking him about how you should be able to take care of your own beard at home, because he'll be able to give you some better tips that are going to be more applicable to your beard.
Matty, thanks so much for joining us today. I got to say, with your help, I think I did a fantastic job. I'm going to have to go ask my girlfriend about this and see what her actual opinion is. But
positive reinforcement usually goes a really long way.
So much.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for including me. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys today. I really appreciate it.
And the aftermath of all of this,